like, share, and subscribe to my channel as I continue to provide you with trusted information for you to use to make decision. Now, on your screen is a topic or an issue that I think warrants not only simple discussion, but warrants a comprehensive examination of some underlying issues which are facing society that a number of persons do not seem to understand. And I'm going to bring this into better understanding by contextualizing the issue for you, and you'll understand what is going on. Michael Jackson penned a song that say that all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Just think for a second what he's saying. A number of persons took that song for granted and he only sang it. But he didn't understand that Michael Jackson was actually using the song to preach to you, like Christ, a message: be careful because the system doesn't care about you. During slavery, we're using the context started with Jamaica. During slavery, the blacks had a hard time just to survive, just to merely exist. And when they got an opportunity to do their little wares and they were given technically a Saturday, what many of them did was to take the little produce that they had. And from taking the little produce, they went to Kingston. And that is how Coronation Market was developed. Because they went there and they applied the little that they had, the little that they got. And by applying it, out of that mushroom, a market, a system, a structure that was able to what? Help many of them. What the system did, on seeing what they did, was that they crippled them and they ensured that they controlled them to the point where whatever they were making, they begin taxing it. And they start giving them restrictions and parameters and guidelines and borders just to survive, when it wasn't the institution or it wasn't the government or it wasn't the system at the time that developed the idea, but it was the people having been going through turmoil, challenges, thought to themselves that they could develop a system to make themselves better. And what did the system do? The system restrict them, suppress them, and capture them in a system where they were back to what they were before. Now, let's look at TikTok. I need to understand clearly, when TikTok was developed, a number of persons, just like what happened in Kingston, began using TikTok to make money. And people were making money to the point where they never had to go to the formal institution to actually get what? Anything. They never had to go in the formal system and get a job. They never had to go to the formal system and beg the formal system for anything, beseech the formal system for anything, and the formal system did not have any loophole and a stranglehold over what they could do, and therefore they were able to make money, go to the bank, deposit money, buy what they want. A similar thing has happened during little after slavery in Kingston, Jamaica, in terms of a market that is later referred to as Coronation Market, and the system destroyed that. Now, what is going on with TikTok now is that people are making money. The system is not having to recognize that the people are making money, and that many of the persons who were actually making money were the average Joe that they could not what? Control. They are going to now regulate TikTok. What have they done? America has now banned TikTok. Jamaica, which is a child of America, a child that has not been weaned, even though we recognize a number of things that America are doing are not in Jamaica's best interest. Despite all of that, Jamaica is also considering to ban TikTok. And the argument that some people are postulating, arguing, forwarding, or even conceptualizing is that TikTok is actually causing what? Crime and violence. That argument is absolutely absurd, nonsense, foolishness, petty, and a clear articulation to destroy an industry that the average person is making money. And that's exactly what they're arguing. For the average person to buy that concept to go with it. But I'm saying to you as an academic who has researched over the last year in Jamaica, the number of persons that have died as a result of TikTok is about 3 or 4 over the last year, 2024, when on average 4 persons die per day in Jamaica. And that has nothing to do with TikTok. Yes, we're arguing to ban a sector that 4 persons die for the year. That does not even work out to 0.000000001%. Yes, they're arguing for ban TikTok. Why don't they try to ban the things that are really causing the what? The crime and violence in society? Why they don't try to arrest those things? Because that's not an issue. It doesn't suit them. What suits them is that they keep the average person in the world down. So they're going to ban TikTok in Jamaica so to try to destroy the average person, as they did post-slavery with when the slaves began plying their little ware in downtown Kingston. From that blossom a market, blossom development of Kingston, blossom a market structure that person would actually use and better themselves. They destroy that. America is banning TikTok because it is now understood and recognized that the average person is making money out of that. And if you can't control it, what do you do is to destroy it. So what they have done now is to destroy it. So they force the average person to go back in the system and be a slave to the system. That's exactly what is going on. A number of persons can't see it. Jamaica Prime Minister Mr. Andrew Holness, come on. We aren't all duns. We aren't all fools. We know this thing long before you. I'm an historical researcher. I'm also a researcher in public health relating to health issues, relating to medical matters. I also have a doctorate where I can actually look into what? Into social issues. I have a doctorate that I can look into what? Educational issues. Mr. Prime Minister, I'm telling you, haven't done the research. Going back to Kingston, I'm going to have to recommend to you as well as persons who are listening to this, go and read that book by edited by Derek Ariot, The Development of Kingston. Then I'm going to ask some person. No, the book is called, I think, Crime and Victimization, and the person who wrote the article to which I'm referring to is called Simond. It's a 2003 book. Then I'm going to ask person to go and read Persistent Poverty, the whole plantation society, what happened during slavery. Just go and read it, and then person will understand clearly. Like Michael Jackson said, they don't really care about us. So a number of persons are now wondering, how are they going to manage? What are they going to do? You know what you're going to do? You're going to suffer, because that was the initial game for you to suffer. The initial game is slavery. And if they are able to structure things and not keep you enslaved, then what they will do, they'll destroy anything so you do not become independent. And when I say independent here, it means independent of them, the system, to survive. Everything they do is to ensure that you are enslaved. They want to enslave you mentally. They want to enslave you socially. They want to enslave you psychologically. They want to enslave you spiritually. And they want to enslave your biology, your physical being. This is all about enslavement. The banning of TikTok is only to create and maintain enslavement. It has nothing to do with protecting anyone, protecting a society, because there are many other issues that can be used to protect a society. Let me name one. Stop producing guns and weapons. But are you going to stop? Are they going to stop? Well, that's the answer. That is the answer. Stop producing weapons. You're going to say to me, no, you can't stop producing guns. That's my very reason to establish that banning TikTok has nothing to do with protecting the average person or protecting lives. If we want to protect lives in Jamaica, and given that persons have guns, legalize guns in Jamaica, so everybody has a gun. So therefore, the gunman has to think when he goes out, listen, we all have guns. If you really want to protect lives in Jamaica, legalize guns. But that's not the answer. You don't want to legalize guns because that is not the issue that you're dealing with. The issue you're dealing with is enslavement and not the protection and development of the people. Those who have TikTok, those who have other medium or media in the space of social media, as soon as they realize that the average person is making money from this, they're going to destroy those. What destroying those mean is that you're back into the enslavement trap. Let me hear what you have to say. You may have a difficult time to understand it. I'm going to ask you some reading. Go and read the world structure. You'll understand a lot of things that are happening. And what transpired in Jamaica during slavery also transpired in America, because I could also give you cases where the US Health Department for many years gave black persons syphilis in Tuskegee. That was a thriving black city, and they destroyed it. Look at the black city in America that was independent of the system. What did they do? They burned it down and destroyed it. Everything that is there to encourage, to sustain, to maintain independence of the system, they will destroy. Everything. A number of persons are not thinking about it. But the system is not designed and structured for you to make it. It is designed on the premise of total enslavement. Let me go again. Total enslavement. What do you have to say? I want to hear your views, because this is something that we have to address. Because we understand this issue, they'll understand how it is that we need to develop things on our own and leave them alone. Let me hear what you have to say. I want a discussion on this one. This one, I do not want this one to start have a natural death or 2 or 3 persons speaking about it. What are we going to do? And the answer is simple. We have to develop a system independent of them. We do not accept their education system, do not accept their religious system, do not accept their governance. Do not participate in nothing that they have to do. The people need to be independent and do the things that they want to do. And if they don't, we should be willing to all die. Because if we all die, they cannot operate the system by themselves. Don't let them trick you. They cannot operate the system by themselves. They require the workers, and that's what we come in. We are the enslaved peasants and workers. And this must be stopped. Banning TikTok does nothing good for society. A matter of fact, banning TikTok has more evil in it than good. What do you have to say?